welcome back to what I think is the only English speaker trying to learn Croatian on Pimsleur on YouTube in the world, possibly. So I released a video just a couple days ago talking about my 2-week experience of using Pimsleur. I was through lesson about 11 at that point, and it's gotten pretty good reviews, not in terms of, you know, people actually using it for anything effective. I'm only getting like 10 views a day. Again, I'm not trying to be an influencer or a polyglot or whatever the word is. You know, I'm just trying to learn one language here, and I'm just so happen to try to be learning a language that there's not a lot of people trying to learn, and there's not a lot of resources for, and that was frustrating to me. So I guess in my own little way, I'm trying to give back to the language of Hrvatski by being an Americanat that is helping people learn it. And in that video that I posted a few days ago, I realized I was not speaking much, which is basically what Pimsleur is all about, is listening and repeating. And I wasn't doing that. So in this one, I'm going to try to be using Hrvatski a lot more throughout this little review. But what I want to do is, because Pimsleur costs money, I want to do little chunked reviews instead of like what I just did, like a big 2-week review. So kind of review each section, some of the things that I found tricky that maybe you will too, some of the things I think that you'll learn. And obviously, if you didn't see my first video, spoiler alert, so far I'm in lesson 14. I think this is a great product for learning a language. Let's kind of dive into this. One of the things that I did learn while redoing this, so when I thought of this idea, I re-listened on 2.5 speed to all the previous lessons I had done. And I learned some things, and I was using Google Translate because, as I said, one of the cons with Pimsleur is there's no like reading component, especially at this part, to go on. So I'm not even really seeing what I'm pronouncing, which when I got to like Stilby, I was saying like Stelby. It's actually, it's pronounced H-T-I-O, I believe, off the top of my head. I'll put it up on the screen so you'll know. But like, Pistili Steli is like, I thought it was all S's. It's an H and T. And since I've known that, I've been able to catch it a little bit better. I'm by no means perfect. So I also encourage all Hrvatski govorim Hrvatski, would that be speakers? Anyways, anyone that speaks Croatian or Hrvatski fluently or decently well, feel free to correct me, because I already know Pimsleur has its flaws a little bit, as so does Mondly and all the other ones. So I'd love for people that are more fluent. I know there's different dialects too. Feel free to, in the comments, correct me on some things. But not to waste too much time, so one of the things I would say is find a way to read, or I know it really says don't worry about these things, and maybe don't for the first 5. I'm through 14 lessons, and going back started to realize some of these things. So maybe wait a bit before you use Google Translate, because like I said in the first one, you don't want to get too tripped up over yourself, because sometimes it wants you to trip. But let's get into lesson 1 through 5 and start reviewing them. So I decided to go through, like I said, re-listen, and I found 51 things you should know. Basically, they're trying throughout the whole chapter 1 or whatever they call it, lesson 1, there's 51 things you need to know. Now, I didn't add, like, when you learn how to basically make anything say not that, ne, I didn't feel like saying ne to everything, right? Because you would just add a bunch. So realistically, you learned way more than 51 things and well over 51 words. You just might not be able to piece it all together. So, but 51, I would say, key things to know is what I took away. And it starts with a lot. In the first lesson, you learned 12. But those 12 are some of the simplest ones you will learn, such as, I believe the very first word you learn, oprostite, which means excuse me. So you learn oprostite, and you're like, okay, I got this. Then they teach you no, ne, yes, da, you are, vista, a little, malo, English, engleski, that's easy, right? Croatian language, Hrvatski, more of a rolled, Hrvatski. See? You learn razumijete. Do you understand? Resumium. Ne resumium. Sorry, I have flashcards over here just kind of reminding me of everything you learned. Jeste li vi. And so those are, I think I hit them all, but the things you learn in one. You actually learn quite a lot, which when I look back on, I felt like lesson 1, I walked away, which makes sense because I think it's the one you can get with most free trials. I felt away like, oh my God, I know how to say, I understand Croatian, or no, I don't understand Croatian, or oh, you don't understand English. And I was feeling high, I was on it, and it totally got me to roll in the lesson too. Unit 2, I believe, is how they actually do it. Lessons are the big 5 chunks, but forgive me if I screw that part up. I'm learning a language, not math and counting, essentially. But in that one, you learn how to say dobar dan, hello. You learn how to say vrlo dobro, very well. Ne tako dobro, not so well. Havala, thank you. And do viđenja, goodbye. So, again, kind of easy. Ne tako dobro is probably the most challenging thing you learn in this, because otherwise you're learning thank you, goodbye, hello, / good day, and very well and not very well. So those are like the really tricky ones. But this whole time they're also doing the whole spaced repetition thing with the things you learned in one. And adding on to it. So now you're learning like, rozumiete angielski vrlo dobro. You understand, do you understand English very well? That would be a terrible sentence. So, razumijem hrvatski vrlo dobro. I understand Croatian very well, or ne tako dobro, right? So like you kind of learn how to take a simple sentence and make it a little bit more complicated without being complicated. And this one, yeah, like I said, you only learn 5. So you learn 12 and then you learn 5. This one is still kind of easy. I'd say 3 is where it kind of turns. You start to learn a little bit more complicated things, but you start off with like how to say but, ali. Yeah, this is where, so Amerikanka is a female American. Amerikanats is a male American. And again, this is where I'd love Croatian speakers to let me know if people actually use this. Like if they see a female American, do they really go, oh, Amerikanka? And same with, you learn this for the Croatian, Hrvatica is female and Hrvat is male. So do people really go, oh, ja sam Hrvat instead of, and vi niste Hrvatica, or do they just say Hrvat or Hrvati? You know, that's the part where I'd love to hear from real people, because I'm not sure how much of that's just kind of old, outdated stuff. So again, you're learning kind of how to do everything you just put together in the first 2 lessons. Now you're being able to say, ja sam Amerikanac, ali razumijem hrvatski vrlo dobro. Or more likely, malo razumijem. Putting that all together. That's not even a phrase I believe they make you say. But looking at these flashcards, and I know how to put that sentence together now, which is what I was saying I think this does. And man, this is going to be a rambling video, so hopefully people find it helpful, because this is where it got tricky. 4 and 5 are where I quit the first time when I was talking about it. You get into govorite, which is speak, govorim, I speak, and you ulica trg, gdje, ovdje, ovdje.
Jeli ovdje, nije ovdje, tamo, tamo je, nije tamo, je tamo.
To put that in perspective, when I was going through and re-listening to these on the tamos, tamo ye tamo, I had to go back and actually ask, basically Google Translate and ChatGPT, and make sure I had the understandings right. Tamo ye is over there. Ye tamo, is it there? So it's when you're asking as like a question. So if I was like, u restaurant, ye tamo, u restaurant. See, I don't think I got this right. Still learning. But anyways, if I was trying to say like, Jadranska ulica, ye tamo Jadranska ulica. Is Jadranska Street there? Over there, or whatever. So, still something I realized while preparing for this video, I could spend some more time on. It was in Unit 4, and I'm all the way up to 14 now. So learning some things I could be backtracking on, obviously, is where I was like, okay, maybe I went back and re-listened to Unit 4 like 4 or 5 times, and just felt like I wasn't getting it, and this is where I said just move on. Here we go. Steli bista, bisteli steli, like, just yesterday I learned that it's an H-T-J-E-L-I. I was thinking in my head when I was saying it, it was S-T-E-L-L-A. Like Steli, or I-E-Y, whatever. We had a dog named Stella, we called Stelly. Like, I was thinking Stelly. It's Stelly. An H-T-J noise. Think of that in your head. Exactly. And I was doing it wrong, and I learned that. So, bisteli steli, nešto, something, pojesti, to eat, stilbi, I would like, stilbi. I don't know why, I'm trying, I hear the S, I'm trying to kick the S out of it. But I guess native speakers, is that wrong? Is the S okay to pronounce there? I'm guessing not, which is why I'm focused on it. And then ne havala, no thank you. That's where I probably didn't need to add that one. You learn 11 things here at the end. And I think I forgot to say in 4 you learn 15. And then popiti, to drink. So all in all, you learn about 51 things at the end of your first 5 lessons. Let's see if I can do these afterwards without looking at my sheets. So maybe I'll keep it simpler. I'm going to randomly think of a sentence I want to say, and I can't prove to you I'm not looking at it, other than looking kind of this way. Let's say I want to say, make sure at least I have the right word, like words that are in this lesson, because again, I want to, all right, so I will say, I am an American, but I understand a little Croatian. Is the restaurant, or no, we don't know restaurant yet, do we? No. Where is Jadranska Street? And then, would you like something to eat? Alright, let's see if I can do that. So, ja sam Amerikanac, ali malo razumijem hrvatski, ne tako dobro. Gdje je Jadranska ulica? And then I want to say, still do you, so, biste li steli nešto pojesti? I believe I just said, I'm an American, and I will make sure I actually put what you guys are seeing, what I actually said. I'm an American, but I speak a little Croatian not very well. Where is Jadranska Street? Would you like to get something to eat? I believe is what I just said after 5 lessons. And obviously I'm through 14, so if you're watching this, don't feel bad if you can't recall as good as I did. You might do better. I still don't think I had the best at this, but man, I feel good doing it. And hopefully that's what you take away from this. I'm sure this video is already way too long for trying to review 5 lessons. It's almost the length of 1, I bet you. But all to say, I'm going to try to review these a little bit more. I don't know if I'll go through every bit of language you learn, especially outside of the first 5. Because I feel like with the first 5, that's where most people are going to start, especially if they do with Audible. As I get into it, it might be more things I'll just cover, like things I learned or topics or things I built on. But all in all, I cannot recommend 1 through 5 enough. If you want beginner level Croatian, Hrvatski, you should probably start doing that, right? Because, I mean, it feels good. Like I said, I'm in the car now, and I'm doing these lessons, and I'm starting to immerse more. I've started to look into more of the reading. I started finding stuff on YouTube and Netflix, and I'm a member of Hajduk Split, the soccer team in Split, football team in Split, and I got my renewal letter just at the beginning of the year, and I'm able to like read it now, and I don't know all the words they're saying, but I'm starting to learn the sounds of every letter, and all that. So like I said, I did Mondly for like over a year, and what I've learned in basically, even in this lesson, I know I'm almost through week 3, but just 1 week with this lesson was ahead of everything I learned in Mondly in a year and a half. So if you're thinking about spending the money, like I said, I think it's worth it. So that's where I'll leave you guys, because I don't want to take any more of your time when you could be listening to a Pimsleur course. Havala, Liepa, and do viđenja.